Hi, this is Justin Murray presenting homework 2 for CS4250. Here it is. You can move around with WASD, moves based on the direction you're looking. You move up and down with C and Shift C, V, Shift V to change the FOV. You can left click to break blocks, right click to place them. There are 9 blocks. You can switch between them with the number keys. This last one is translucent, although it has some issues that I didn't take the time to fix, but for the most part it looks good. So you can do all that. You can hit T to bring you to the top-down view, and then use the arrow keys to move forward, backwards, left, and right. Then just use WASD to move back down. The inside faces are not rendered to save on rendering time. There's no actual lighting. I just rendered each side of the face slightly darker than the last to give a sense of lighting. And yeah, that's that. So here's the code. In the display function, it first renders the select colors of the cubes to find which cube you're looking at. Then it renders the select color on faces in each face of that one cube to figure out which face you're looking at. Then it renders normally. You know, it's all based on the perspective, looking at where the camera's looking at, all that. It draws it normally, and then it calls process selection, which here, if you're left clicking, it breaks the block. Right clicking places a block on the right face, but at the end of this, it draws the block selection outline, and then it swaps the buffer, keeps track of the frame time. Mouse, if you click, it calls process selection with the right mouse click, sets the callback functions. Here in common, go straight to common CC, I added variables for mouse X, mouse Y, how much you're turning, forward, constant forward vector, that's what everything's rotated off of, matrices for the rotations, the look at vector, block type selection, move the arrow keys. Here, block selected with the number keys. The mouse function. So, based on how you move the mouse from how far from the center of the screen, it adds or subtracts that from the degrees, the mouse X, mouse Y, up to a certain amount. And then it creates rotation matrices based on that, rotates forward, it makes the at vector, and then it moves the pointer back to the center. Now that makes another call to this function. So every time you do, set it to true. So the next call, it ignores it, so it doesn't get in a loop, or it keeps making calls to itself. The world class, grids 3D vector, functions for updating, placing, breaking, drawing blocks. The update block, it looks at all the neighboring faces of the neighboring blocks and its own faces and decides whether or not they should be visible and sets that accordingly. Other functions are pretty basic. Block.h, each block keeps track of its own color, ID, position, its visible faces. These functions are just pretty basic, setting visible faces and whatnot. ID, it just changes the color whenever you change the ID. The selection color is based off its position, so it makes it really easy to index. Drawing, 4 draw modes, draw the face, outline, draw the faces with their select color, draw the cube with its select color, and draw them normally. And then the shaders, I did not change. Common CC common.h. This I all got from lecture 16 folder, cube 2 stuff. And yeah, that's it.